Okay, we're live, and yes, the Gun Geek is here. Yes, I did enjoy the song, and truthfully, it was kind of funny, and I was honest about it. It made my day, but uh, something afterwards when I made that video, uh, some of the remarks I got were insane. Okay, because to me, it was all just having a good time like we always had. Just a joke. Glad you made it. So yeah, today, like I said, uh, to start the live with a song. Yeah. Well, you know, the whole thing, and what I kind of realized yesterday is you have to remember back in the old days for the internet or any of that other stuff, things were a lot different. And now everyone has to have a smartphone, because my doctor's, dentist, prescription drug ordering is all done through the damn smartphone. Uh, but the thing that gets me is you see a lot of these people make a ton of money out of nothing. Okay, and before I get into this, I just want to make a statement. Probably Saturday I won't be able to do a live, or the time will be off because I got some things I have to do around the house with the wife. So these early morning lives may be postponed till later. But anyway, when you go back to it, see, I worked in a factory all my life. Uh, so, like, yes, I seen the disco song too. That was a week. I don't know how the hell I missed that. Okay, scanning through. Of course, I haven't scanned through on the smartphone. That's what I was doing, is sitting there on a porch talking to my wife, scanning through something, checking how many views I got on the video I posted, and then that just popped up. That's how I found it. But anyway, like I said, you see people, they make an app, and I think 1/3 of the stock market is all tech stock, which is not a factory, is not a place or whatever. They probably rent a building and have offices, but I mean, it's just this. Uh, what do they call them? Social networking things. This small fortune, you know. And there's a lot of down bad side to it. But when somebody makes a stupid comment, some girl made a stupid comment and then becomes instantly famous to where even I can't miss it. I mean, I just see this hawk dog, yeah. I'm like, what the hell is this? And really, when you look into it, and let's see, I'm not on Twitter or Instagram or any of that other things, it just that would pollute my brain to a point where it isn't good. And with everything going on in the world, wars, the political situation, the pending stock market crash, it's insane. I've never seen it so volatile in my life. Between the stock market and precious metals and whatever. But to see all this, and the sad reality is we've discussed it here that people are having a hard time just getting by. There's a lot of people that don't, uh, get by or have issues with money. And for somebody to make a childish remark, all of a sudden become famous, but then again, like somebody said, the producers and all this stuff, and there are people out there that see this and make a living on it, to where this girl is donating, like I said, they said, now how true it is, I don't know, $500,000 to an animal shelter from t-shirt sales. Like I said, if I could sell a bunch of t-shirts and make $500 in profit, I'd be happy with that. Yeah. $500,000. Okay. So, when you look at this, you try to investigate it. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, that's where I had the parody of maybe this is my claim to fame. The gun geek goes and I don't know, is that an AI or something? Or did you have to come up with the lyrics? Are you secretly a songwriter that we don't know about? But that was a pretty interesting, pretty funny. Me and my wife laughed. We had to watch it like 2, 3 times or something. Um, you know, like I said, at my age, somebody wrote a song about me, joke or no joke, whatever. It's pretty neat. Okay. Uh, and but then I started looking into it, and I'm thinking, okay, so my friend can come up with a little parody, for some fun, give everybody a laugh. So I started looking in. Oh, it's like an AI of some sort. Okay, that's another thing that scares me is you can just talk a little bit, and then this computer program comes up with a whole song. But yeah, so I was after I was sitting there after having a few, I made that video, and then one of the comments was, "Well, you're just a miserable old man that's pissed off because some girl became famous and you didn't." And I'm like, do you ever think that all of this is a damn joke, just fooling around, having fun? I mean, what the heck goes? You should change the way you think in life, or change your life or something. I'm coming down on the downhill slope of life, man. Just change the way you think. Yeah, like I said, I'm still alive. It's not the ballad of whatever the hell or something where someone has to pass away. It's pretty neat. Good morning, Peter. Morning, Joel. Comment of them all. Yeah, I mean, it's like it's just kidding around. I mean, that's like I said, that's the whole reason we're on YouTube and that, and people, these younger people take this crap so seriously. They don't understand sarcasm or just joking around. So after doing that this morning, I spent a little time trying to investigate more about this girl and everything and her story, because all you're seeing, or at least all I'm seeing, is little clips of her talking and doing this, but she's supposed to have her own podcast. Okay. And I don't know what it's on. Okay. I heard it was like a day or two ago, and I was trying to catch the podcast. And going through, I found some guy that does like a criticism of it. And I found this, and the guy, had clips from the podcast, and he started, he's really getting critical. I mean, I just say this is ridiculous. Somebody makes a weird comment on the street to a random person making a Twitter post or whatever, and then is flying around the country, has a manager, a lawyer, all this other stuff, and you know, winging around $500,000 and stuff. It's I'm like, wow. So he finally gets into the podcast, and this is where this, like I said, fear. We've only been on for about 9 minutes, so don't worry. This is where, uh, yeah, like I said, if the owner ain't there, I can try to get YouTube on and play this in the damn bar and see what the hell happens. That'd be really about 9 minutes. But so watching this podcast, this a person is 20 some years old, and her and her girlfriends start doing this. Hell, I'm gonna make you my manager. I gotta have a manager and a lawyer and an agent and everything. Don't worry, I got a spot for you. You know. Uh, so this podcast, uh, it's crazy, and this guy's playing little clips of it, and they're talking. Like these women are supposedly in their 20s. They're talking like they're in the sixth friggin' grade. Okay. And the older woman running it, they said, well, she's only a couple weeks older than me. And the guy goes, fact check. This woman's 40 something. And they said something, well, we hate history, can't stand history. And he goes, that's probably why she forgot what happened to them 20 years. She doesn't like history. it's, it's hilarious. So he's cutting into clips. All right, Shane, what happened? What happens? Gun Geek wrote a song about me, and it's hitting the internet. And I'm trying to outdo that Hawktaw girl. We're going to see if I can get more famous than her. That's what we're talking about. But in this joke and in this parody, this is where when I started digging in deeper, that this is where something frightened me. Okay. So this is a big deal. And I guess this podcast just crapped out or something. So they do this thing where they're like waking her up, like, your kid, your parents come in, your friends come in, and then they go and sit down in the studio and they're talking. And she states that when they were flying her to New York City and all these places, she didn't realize that you couldn't board a plane with knives. And they said, why did you get on a plane with knives? And she goes, well, I'm just a little girl and I never left Tennessee, so I took a machete and some other stuff. I don't know what the hell she had in her luggage, but they confiscated it and she lost her knives. And, just the thing. And then they said, well, this clip, well, we hate history. And they go, yeah, we can't stand history. And then this is what scared me. She goes, yeah, like, in 1962, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And of course, one of the other physicists in the back said, no, it's 1492, not 1962. That's the thing. And they were being honest. That's what really frightened me, of the level of, I really just how stupid these fuckers are. Okay. And you wonder why the world is swirling right down the toilet when you listen to this. Okay. I mean, that's what realization came. I mean, the joke with my buddy, and it's all fun, and everyone on the channel likes it and everything, but you just realize how stupid people are. And then it kind of explains why things are the way they are in the world. And it's scary. It is. A little reality check there for a minute after the laughs and fun. But, 1962, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I could not believe it. My brother's youngest grandchild in the third grade, I think, knows more than these people. No, that's the thing. No, she wasn't joking. Because other segments of this conversation show you the same mindset, if you want to call it. That's why I put that 40 days to the election, and I thought that run out of stuff to talk about and what else can get stranger and weirder. But when I looked into that, I mean, I told myself, my God, how can that happen? Cigarette lighter, yeah. Well, there was, remember the guy that had his ghost gun in his luggage and getting in the airport at, I don't know, LA, Chicago or something. And he goes in there, oh, by the way, sir, here's this Glock style pistol that's loaded. And somehow it's kind of like when we had that famous thing at the gun show. They have the police, they have a law enforcement officer pulling the guns out and checking them to see if they're loaded. And of course, 20 gauge shotgun was like, I don't know, a pump or a single shot. Guy had it in a case. So he puts it on the table. The cop reaches in. And do you ever see somebody grab a hold of a gun and put their finger on the trigger and then pick the fucker up? Well, that's what this guy did. Okay, the cop. When he pulled it out of the case, he had his finger on the trigger and that damn shotgun went off in the lobby arena. Okay. Blew out a window, and luckily there was a soda machine behind this glass part of the door section. And when it shot from that table they had set up for the entrance, luckily the shotgun blast hit that huge window, and there was a soda machine behind it. So nobody, I think a couple people got hit with pellets, but nobody was seriously hurt. You know. That's how a girl in high school got me to remember her. 1492. Uh, maybe. Maybe good. Yeah, we're talking about, to see if I can get more famous than her. And basically, after listening to them, that's where the fear part comes in. I mean, it scared me listening to these people talk. I mean, yeah, being young, being a kid, acting foolish, that's normal. It's a normal part of life. Okay. Uh, but, to get there to where they exploit this, where you're talking $500,000 now. Yeah, you could. That all. No, it wasn't in the 90s. It was back maybe 10 years ago. And it was at I think it was at the state fairgrounds in Raleigh. That's where it was. Because that used to be a damn big gun show. Okay. And now, yeah, it was. Because now if you bring a gun, they sell you a ticket and you must go to a separate area to get in. And they have an enclosed room, I guess, with bulletproof walls. And you can go have your gun checked out there. But I mean, the scary thing is this, they have a law enforcement officer that's supposed to know what the hell he's doing and all this other shit. And this is what happens. Yeah, I mean, but going back to that guy that he had a ghost gun in a bag and he was a convicted felon or something. And then somehow when they were fumbling around with the gun, the damn thing went off and he ran from the airport or it's uh, but yeah, it's crazy. Well, yeah, I'm not the songwriter. I'm just the person the song was written about. Not really. Music isn't my stronger forte. Yeah, some countries possession of cartridges or live ammo is a criminal offense unless you have documents, permits, and all this other stuff. Um, yeah, that's why you make sure you clean everything out. I don't mix anything I take to the range or guns. I don't mix with anything that I travel with anywhere. Okay, and I mean, I don't know. Well, that you have to ask this gentleman right here. He's the songwriter that come up with all this. You know, I'm not quite sure, uh, but it was unusual. I'm just sitting there having a smoke, scrolling down the phone, and I'm like, Koba. I said, what the hell was that? And then I said, who would do such a thing? Okay. And I said, oh, okay. When I seen who posted it, I said, all right, he must have been bored up there. Found some new website. But yeah, then just joking around and laughing about it and doing some more research. Like I said, these things pop up and uh, you kind of can't miss them. And like I was wondering, what is this? And then there's reality shows. Something about she was supposed to go on. Someone was going to stake her money. I think they call it high stakes poker, is what the Texas Hold'em game is on TV now. Yeah, it used to be Texas Hold'em poker, I think, or whatever. It was back in the '90s when that was popular on TV, and we used to watch it, and you knew all the guys that were on all the final tables. I think it was Phil Hellmuth and there were several of them. I used to know all their names, and Saturday afternoon we'd sit there and watch that and just watch these guys play Texas Hold'em. And it was kind of interesting. It was a popular game at the time. Uh, but now you just see it. Now, I guess she was supposed to go on one of these. I don't know if they have that. I do know they had celebrity uh, poker tournaments and stuff like that. It used to be televised, but she was supposed to get staked and then go on to one of these things, which that I would watch. I would like to see how the hell that would turn out. But I'm sorry, you got to forgive me. Uh, that would be entertaining. Get some popcorn, a case of beer or something, sit there and watch. Game of thinking and strategy. Uh, I think that's just a little tune generated by AI. You know, it's like, was it? It's like when you get one of them organs where you can turn all this stuff on. There's all kinds of tunes in that. You just play on a little electric organ. You got a whole damn band there with you. You really don't need nothing else. But yeah, it's interesting. Something to take a break in our discussion. Something different, to kind of talk about, which is kind of fun. A little light humor uh, during these times. Let's tell you. Yeah, like I said, when you go on eBay, okay, uh, if I put something in the title, like a bayonet or a coin or something, um, once I type in the title and it identifies that you have these choices and it'll write the description for you. Because a lot of the things selling on any type of internet platform, be it eBay or the gun broker, a lot of people used to tell you, write something in a description, it'll help. And I've seen a lot of things that go up for sale and they don't have anything written in the description, number one, you know. And now on eBay, it'll auto generate it for you. And it actually does write a nice description. Like I tried selling a silver dollar and it went on for 4 or 5 sentences and all this other stuff. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a lot easier. Of course, they charge you 13 damn percent when you sell something there. So, unless you're making another 200% on what you paid, you're not going to make out on eBay. It's pretty cool. It's changed because I think they sent me an email that I've been a member of eBay or been registered with them for 26 years is when I first got online on a computer and I would buy and sell stamps and that. And I thought of having the big dream when you paid $2,000-3,000 for a desktop computers, work from home, never leave the house. And eBay is what I tried. One of the many different things I tried over the years was having a little on the side job from the house, which was simple. Decent price on a Royal Tiger A grade #1 without the bolt. Okay, but problem is, what the hell are you going to pay for the bolt? And if you can find one, okay. I went to a gun show and this guy had a whole pile, I think 10 mil surplus rifles, old Mausers and whatever. All of them had the bolts gone. Okay. And I'm looking at it and I said, the nightmare and what it will cost if you can find it or how long. Sometimes looking for parts, I've waited 2-3 years if I found someone selling a part and then they want more than what the hell the gun costs for something like a bolt, So I don't know. You just got the email. Let me see. There it is. This G3 parts available. #1, C grade, B grade, A grade without bolt. $249.99. Okay, what does an A grade mean? That they only got some rust in the barrel, and you can see rifling. Yeah, I really believe it is because somebody, Megabait, told me that I'm getting bots on my live broadcasts, and I didn't quite understand what he meant by it because basically most of you guys show up all the time, and I kind of see the same people, and I can tell from your questions you're kind of not generated because the questions do change. I don't know. All right, so this is a program or something. 5 songs a day. That one was good. The disco one, yeah, all right, but I ain't into disco. Yeah, that could be true. See, whenever I bought them, they were complete. I never had to go fish around for parts. And actually, now with everybody restoring mil surplus guns back from being converted or whatever, parts are almost impossible to find. Okay. Seen. Maybe I should go back and, become a doctor, get my degree. All right, I mean, yeah, if you got parts, man, then it's a deal. Okay, like if I had a damn bolt for it, yeah, I'd pick the sucker up. Or if I had a way to get a bolt in there, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Let me check that out again. $249.99. Let's see the description. I'm curious of the description. A grade. Okay, but their A grade is generally fair to good. Bores range from poor to good. I guess if that's what they call an A grade, I guess the wood ain't rotted or cracked. But like I said, that guy, the blind sniper, I mean, and the other one, readiness review. He bought a couple uh, M95s, an 8x50, and he went and got that ammo, just uses the pointed bullet. And he was firing them in them guns, which is pretty brave to begin with. But the blind sniper, I forget what he bought. He bought something. I think it might have been a Betterly conversion or something. He bought some kind of gun where he took a bullet and it just dropped right out. I mean, that's uh, yeah. See, I don't understand. Uh, you know, who's a bot, who's not a bot, or what a bot would be saying. The only weird thing that I've been getting is on my videos, and some of them are from some pretty old videos because I do get email every time there's a comment. I get a notice in the email, and some of these videos are quite a few years old, and it'll just be somebody sitting there and they put like a series of names: Rodriguez, Johnson, this, that, and that's the only thing they post in a comment is a series of names. And somebody told me that's an AI generated thing or something crawling around on the uh, web. And what I started doing is when I find these comments, I'll go and there will be, like whenever you post a comment, it'll be like at Gun Geek or whatever on the comment. When you click on it, it takes you to the user's uh, page. And, they posted or something or put that they like these different things to be on there. And all of these pages are blank. Okay. And a lot of whacked out comments also, they're blank. There's nothing there. There's no subscribers, no nothing, no videos, nothing that they liked. Because if you like a video, you can post it there on your page. And then when I click on it, report this, and it'll say block user. And curiously, a lot of these users have only been on there for a month or less. And some of them I did find it's like uh, from 2018 and that, but there's nothing there. So I don't know if somebody created a thing, left it blank, or it's dormant, and somehow this program is taking this over. But I'm not quite sure what the comment of just these names, like several names. I don't understand it all, but I've been blocking them and it's kind of starting to taper. I was getting one that every time I posted a video, they put a comment leading you to some porno website. Okay. And this thing was going on and was a pain in the ass. And I just had to block the users for like months until finally it stopped. Well, yes, they do. I went to a flea market and there was a flea market, a local one, where a guy came. He had a pickup truck load of them. I mean, he had to have like 20, 30, and all it was is single shot shotguns. I don't know if he went and got them at an auction or bought somebody's old store inventory out. But, you know, he was selling stuff from like $40 to $120 a piece for them. And I mean, they swarmed that table, and half of them were gone by the end of the day. It's so I've seen it. I really didn't run over there and buy any and that, but yes, people still do buy them. All right. All right, that's good. But see, yeah, that's what I mean. I don't understand why he said that. And I mean, I know the guy, he's another person I've known for quite a while. And I asked him, I said, uh, what do you mean by that? Or what's is it something that somebody's saying? Is it certain individual, the phrases or something are being generated or what? No words. Not really, because unless this guy, where the hell is he? He always shows up. Thing with right there. I like tacos. Okay. I followed this, and it is a channel. It's a gun channel that it goes to, but I don't know if the person abandoned it, and I'm not quite sure. All emojis. Well, yeah, usually that's when we get the trolls. Whenever the political discussion, and I found this out. Most of the time here, we're holding at about 20 people, 20, maybe 23. The minute I start getting like over 30, because when I used to do the lives before I just stopped them, we used to have the question and answer live things on Sunday. And we used to get about 70 people, okay, at a time there from all over the world. And this was popular. I guess I pissed off a lot of people, but oh well, nobody's perfect. Uh, and I've noticed that we only get about 20, even on the Sunday one at the regular time. Only getting about 20, not never really hitting 30. Okay, and the bullshit don't happen. It's kind of like when there's a lot more people, and I know what you guys are talking about. That's where you just get all these weird little emojis and that, and we'd have somebody uh, do that, or the trolls would show up and then just start hammering in. We had that problem for a while, but most of these been doing one every day for I don't know a couple of weeks, and actually one Sunday we had somebody putting something on there, but and it's kind of like who watches. Too much life experience. Yeah, that was Cyndi Lauper's song. Love that song. Yeah, we were getting stuff like that, or people talking about genocide and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Uh, yeah, hit the like button. That helps. Yeah, because I've noticed that. Um, these lives, I don't get a ton of person or people, and when they did get high, that's when all the weird crap and stuff started and that, so it has to be. Good morning. Where you see now, this is coming through this. I'm not seeing the YouTube thing. Let me look. To do comments, likes. I've got 10 likes so far on this, going to where I'm live on YouTube. 10 likes. Yesterday I got 28 likes, and that was just about everybody there. So I could say everyone hit the like button yesterday. But thanks, Peter, for hitting the like button. All right, thank you, Joel. Yeah, you gotta if you don't reload the page, whatever when you open the page, that's what it is. That's why sometimes it's hard to keep track. And as far as I'm concerned, if that's all I was worried about is the logarithms, then yeah, I give up because uh, and that's another thing I'm seeing. The reason I don't get a lot of hits on the videos, and that's the thing that confused me. Um, I make a video and try to keep it short because people can't handle anything more than 8 minutes or 10 minutes, especially when you're describing something. I describe an old gun. I give a little bit about the history, show you the weapon, show how it works, keep it about 8 minutes, under 10, put it up there. And generally, on any of the videos, really rapidly or within time, I'd get about 300-400 views, say in a week. And granted, over years, those views will tally up kind of high. Okay, but with these shorts, and I guess shorts was YouTube come up with it to compete with TikTok. Okay, and you can monetize them in that, and I do, but I doubt very much. But I made a video where I just took one of the old Austrian rifles, the one of the old wedge locks, you call them, and loaded a clip in it, slid it, pulled the bullet out of the chamber, and took the magazine out. The 60-second video. Okay, and I did make a video describing that gun for about 8 minutes. I only got like a couple hundred views on that, not even. But in the same 48-hour period, I got like 2,000 views on the short, on a 60-second video. And then all of a sudden that will be like for a few days, then it's like they don't even look at the shorts no more. It's pretty weird. I never could understand that. And a firearm, it's like driving a car and that. Just watch your video. What it was is I took that out of an old lineman manual, and it was at the very bottom range of it, or cast bullet powder. You can use pistol powder. There's several powders you could use, and it's just when I was experimenting, I found one that was super accurate, and that's what it was. Depends what you have. Some of the powders you can't buy them. That's another thing that's screwing up any of my reloading videos. Is someone will go, well, I have this powder. Well, that's not the powder I'm using. I'm using this powder, and that's the results I got. I don't know what results you'll get with that powder unless you experiment yourself. And people don't want to do that. They just want me to tell them exactly what the load is so they can get the thing. And it's kind of like that's how you learn to reload. 2400 is one powder, and then 4227 is what I've been using with some of these cast bullets. The small ones, you want to go with a powder like that. If you go with an 8mm or something in that range, you can, like 8mm Mauser or something like that. I've used red dot and green dot to effect, and I got just loads out of an old manual, and that powder seems to work fairly good. I had a lot of luck with an 8mm bullet using red dot or green dot. So it's kind of up to you. 12 on my screen. All right. All right. See that again. That's uh, that's something to do with YouTube. Good morning. No. That's that. Powder's powder. No, that's a good way to get yourself killed. Okay. The reason there are so many different powders is most powders have a certain application or range to do things. That's why they make more than one powder. Okay. If it was as simple like black powder, and black powder is not the same as smokeless. Black powder is actually a low level explosive. It's a total different principle in everything else. Okay. With black powder. That's why, you know, just the only variation is the size of the granules that change the burn rate and pressure. Okay. Powder is not just powder. Yeah, well, somebody said that he pulled a fast one and they did an interview with him. And he said that he delegated the authority to, what's her name, uh, months ago. And all these problems are because she ain't managing stuff right, which is pretty neat. Throw them under the bus. You know, throw her under the bus. It's like I don't understand it. They're all acting so weird. They ain't helping this woman out. And it's getting insane. Okay. But like I said, when seeing how people's minds work, these younger people, no wonder you can tell them anything. The way they interpret information gets twisted. They don't, that's what I mean. You're dealing with people that when you put information in front of them, they absorb it and look at it differently. Okay. And it is quite frightening. And that's why we have a lot of the problems in society that we do. All right, James. Yeah, I mean that's what I said. They're saying they're A grades. I guess stocks ain't really cracked or something. And that's what they call it, an A grade. But all of them have a poor to fair bore. All of these grades, and I guess when they go to B or C, they're just more bashed to shit or things missing. Because if you read the description, it says small parts can be missing or the butt plate will be missing on the C grades and all this other stuff. I forget who it was. I believe Mike B did something years ago where he bought a bunch. Oh, sorry about that. Bought a bunch of these B grade Enfields or something. He bought a bunch of them and they were pretty inexpensive. And he took all of them. I think he had like 4 or 5 of them, and he took them all out and fired them. Okay, and then some of them, when he did an in-depth study, some of them had cracked receivers and some pretty serious stuff that couldn't be repaired. Okay, damage to this, damage to that. Some of them were in pretty bad shape that it was not a repairable thing. It was replace the receiver, replace the barrel type stuff. So I don't know. I remember when they were under $200 and you can get them. The ones mummy wrapped or whatever. I remember seeing them. They were like $180, and I had 4 or 5 of them. Used to buy cases of ammo and just shoot the hell out of them. I kept the nicest one out of the bunch and sold the rest because after you put a few hundred rounds through them, I mean, You know, I wish I was. I wish Gun Geek wrote that song about me back in the '90s and the royalties. I could afford to buy all this and keep it, but no, can't hang on to everything forever. And then now to replace them just to make a video, what the hell it would cost me to buy these things, take out a second mortgage on a house. Yeah, that's about how you do it. The only thing is nobody likes to give advice because of liability. They had a guy post something on the one collector's forum that his Swedish Mauser blew up. I mean, the whole receiver and everything. And I'm like, holy crap. And he's like, what would cause it? Or was it defective? Or because it was a drilled and tap, it was drilled and tap for a scope and this and that. And come to find out, he grabbed the wrong bottle of powder. Okay. And put it in there. He wasn't paying attention. And he put the wrong load in there, blew his gun up. Three interviews, CNN. Yeah, like I said, I was on another entertainment venue yesterday other than watching her and her debates. Yeah, I mean the party's turning on her. They're making her look bad, her own people. So I don't understand this. I don't see how all of this is going to help other to make things even far more worse than they are now. Okay, that's another thing that where I use the term fear. I mean, everything's so unpredictable, unstable, and these people are doing stuff that you would never think they're doing, or they should be doing. They're not helping the situation. I don't know if they're just trying to create more. On his view, boss. You know, more confusion, more. Yeah, because disinformation. Okay, like I said, that's gonna be the weapon. Okay. Oh, sorry. Allergies are acting up. Um, there's so many things going on, and it's so confusing. You can't make head or tail out of who's doing what or where or anything. And I mean that is a weapon. Okay, to confuse people. Generally, that's another thing. I do know it's 1492 that Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I remember that, not 1962. Okay, so you have to remember when you got people with a mindset like that, like reading and keeping track of the numbers, like 4227, not 4874 or something. They mix things up. Uh, you have to have a clear mind and be able to remember things to reload well without killing yourself. 5K 25. You mean the trap guns? Yeah, any of those. Is that what you're talking about from yesterday? I think, or I remember saying that. It's true. When I went out there was a doctor who bought a real nice Perazzi. He let me look at it, and that was a $10,000 gun. And Krieghoff's a used Krieghoff is about 15. Uh, a new one, 25,000. Okay. And then, when I was talking about that, that's when that one guy said, you got to go to the national shoot. He goes, anything under 100,000 you can touch, but everything else up over 100. I said, who. But those are the guns. There was a gun, this one old timer, he did a lot of shooting, and he won some sort of event way back when or something. and they had a shotgun that was done with the gold metal inlays to on the whole gun. Okay, actual gold little animals and ducks and swirlies and all this other stuff, you know, going in there. It was a work of art. Uh, then when he passed away, his widow brought it down, and one guy owned a gun shop. He had it in a case he had on display. And I don't even remember what they were asking for this thing. Okay, but it was behind glass. So yeah, some of them can get extremely expensive. Well, it's one way of looking at it, but really, I believe it's a political free for all. After what I've been hearing has been put out, or what these people are saying in these live interviews on TV, I don't know. I think it's just trying to confuse the hell out of everyone. Yeah, there's got to be a reason. Something's not right. Okay, whatever plans they had and whatever they were doing, whoever's behind it, and then what they're doing is not working out. So it's like a lot of people said, Trump can't be elected. Whoever's in controlling things now can't have him elected, and who knows. But it depends. See, like I watched a video about in Chicago. Now, Chicago, one of these places where I don't think anybody can own any kind of gun. And they went down there, I think it's the east side or south side, wherever. It's the worst section of the town. And they have criminal gangs running loose. And also there were some really interesting individuals that had these T-shirts, felons for Trump. These people that have reformed and they're basically older and out of the prison system. And they try to help people and curb crime and violence in these impoverished neighborhoods where nobody cares. And they're saying that the gangs there that exist there, American ones, are being ousted by the foreign ones coming in. And a lot of people are angry. And he says they take over abandoned buildings. And this guy's they stand out there holding these guns. And the thing is, I'm curious where and then they explain. They show up, they give them a driver's license, they give them money, they give them food, they give them all this other stuff. And these other impoverished people are pissed off going, hey, man, we ain't getting nothing. Okay. And then they're coming over and taking over our criminal activities. And he said eventually, if this keeps going, he goes, they're going to burn Chicago down. He goes, once the criminal gangs start fighting, he goes, you ain't going to stop it. If they don't do something to stop this now, he goes, once it ignites, he goes, it's not going to stop. National Guard, whatever, it's not. And, that's their opinion. I kind of believe it. That last comment. Yeah, that's like I did the video on disinformation. The disinformation and you're getting bombarded with stuff that's contradictory. And it just leads to confusion. And like I said, there are people that if they say, oh, the poll says this, these people believe it's true. Well, it might not be true. Okay. And when I'm looking at how the mindset of these people are, they're fairly easy to manipulate, or if they perceive that, it's kind of like somebody said, once it's on the internet or once a statement is made about you, true or false, there's nothing you can do. It's just out there, and people just will remember, or something sensational that's bad, they'll remember that long before anything you've done good, or to prove that that is a lie, they won't remember that. That's the weird thing. By opening his mouth. Yeah. A lot of chats are not showing up. What chats are those? Okay, Vice President, that should be interesting. Question while I was typing it. All right. Yeah, that's true. You just gotta read, and pay attention, and you know, some of it also comes from experimentation and actually hands-on doing it. A lot of it is keeping track of what you're doing, make sure you don't screw up nothing in the process. But yeah, you should study. And I've seen published information that is bad, that is not good. Okay, that's another thing you got to watch out for too. That's how they try to work it. That's true. Yes. Uh, how far back you seat the bullet, and that does change the overall pressure. And again, like somebody mentioned, the type of bullet, the shape of the bullet, all that other stuff, um, is something you should pay attention to. Well, to answer that question, like I said, that's why I used fear in this. When I seen these people, actually these younger people actually having some sort of discussion, and how they go about it, and kind of how they react to my pun, okay, over this little joke that, this is my big thing in the internet. I can become famous, and maybe I can be on the World Poker Tour with somebody staking me with $500,000 or something. Okay, I mean, it sounds ridiculous when I say that about myself, but in reality, you see what some of these other people do, and it's just as ridiculous. Okay, but what scared me is how their minds work, and how they talk, that, oh, history's a pain. You can't. The thing about history, the important thing is, you have to know where you came from to know where you're going, and you have to know what happened to people. Life wasn't easy in the past, okay? And you have to have a knowledge of what happened in the past so it don't happen again. These people are so devoid of any, you know, thoughts or whatever. And to hear, people in their 20s talking, like I said, like third graders, is scary, because these are people that can be easily manipulated. This is where, when the cell phones and the online influencers control these people, there's your bots, okay? Biological entities with no thought, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying, and this is global. It's not the United States society or political system. This is a plan. In the future, the people that wish to control people, they want them dumb as a rock, and then they got full control of their minds. This is a theory, I've heard it, that's what they're doing, and they're doing a pretty goddamn good job of it. Okay, the amount of time I got left, and what the hell am I going to do? And there's fewer and fewer people like me that think like me. Okay, and will it ever be fixed? I don't know unless somebody reverses a lot of this, and I don't see it happening because once people attain power and greed, they don't like letting go of it. Okay, they don't. So I don't know. Well, muzzle loaders, if you're using black powder or something, but they got substitutes. See, this is where it gets confusing. They got substitutes. They got pellets. So a lot of the people at Hunter, they buy, in a packet. You see them in the store, $110 gun. You put some pellets and a shot shell in there, and you actually put an actual rifle, metallic rifle bullet in a plastic sabo down there, and you get away with calling it black powder season. Uh, and a lot of them really don't use actual black powder because it's considered an explosive, and a lot of places don't sell it. Okay, so there's a difference. See, this is where it gets confusing and weird. Yeah, and that changes the burn rate. But most people don't use black powder. They use Pyrex or they use the pellets in the inline guns and that. So that adds to more confusion and mayhem. TDS and hate DJT. I don't know. Don't think so. Well, volatile, you know, it will go off if it's crushed. And sparks, well, that's how you set it off is with sparks. Um, but if you just light it on an open rock or something, it just makes a lot of smoke in that. Oh, they have no value for that. They have no value for anything. Okay. It's like that's why collecting anything, collecting coins, stamps, guns, or whatever, people that are in the antique business, just selling like glassware and stuff. Nobody holds nothing for the value or the sake of having it. It's all just in virtual land. Is all they care about. Walk in the footsteps of giants. Yeah, well, in the city, I guess that house my grandparents lived in was built in the 18. They started laying out that section of the city in 18, right at the end of the Mexican War. Okay, in the 40s, 1840s or something. And the house had an outhouse. They didn't have indoor plumbing. I don't think the city had water. They started laying water lines in the city at the end of the Civil War, and it was all down in where the industry was. Okay, wasn't residential. And actually, my friend's house, when his grandmother had it built in 1932 or something, or 34, she had the house built there. If you went between the garages, there was still an outhouse on the corner of the other property that they just built the garage and never tore it down. So that was commonplace for years. No, no, actually, black powder, if you keep it dry and stable, it'll go off after hundreds of years. It doesn't break down like dynamite. I detest inline. Yeah, to me it's not a muzzle loader. Yeah, I just rather buy it the amount I use. I really don't like making it. Well, I thought that too about the electoral college, but there's a slight problem with that. The electoral college does serve a purpose, and after I got to figure out how it works and the reason the people that set this country up set up that, it does have a purpose to keep things fair because it's kind of like if you look at the population of just New York City alone compared to somewhere like North Dakota or something. Uh, if you just go by the popular vote and the politicians are going to do something that'll benefit people in heavy populated areas, then they'll win the vote when the other side of the country and the other states, okay, don't have the number of people and votes to do that. So that does serve a purpose. Okay. No, haven't thought about that. Uh, like I said, there's a reason that exists, and it's a good one, and it shouldn't be changed. Yeah, I seen a movie where that happened, and that's where they um, kind of had all society doing that. Yeah, everything, the factory even showing up to buy glass or anything. Yeah, got to raise the price up there. They are Trumpists. Oh, ain't that wonderful? Yeah, I mean that helps. They're good. You don't need electricity or running water. You know. Oh, by the way, how did your cabin turn out that you were building? I lost track. I remember you had one bear attack, but I do remember when you finished it up and got the windows and the porch and all that in there. Have your forest friends left you alone? Yeah, and the reason for that is if you're promising something to heavily populated areas, okay, uh, that can happen. Yeah, you use some lime. I used to have a little scoop of it uh, in a bucket in there. You'd throw in there after use. Yeah, I know you finished it, but you know, as it stood up well, or you still using it. Okay, well, see, we're talking since it's national. yeah, the nation as a whole, but there's a lot of things nationally that affect states. Okay. And I thought the same too at one time until I figured out how it works, the reason it works, and why they should uh, have it. Because the people who formed this country were pretty clever in the way they worded crap too. All right, that's okay. Didn't fall over yet, so you got a place to hide out, man. All right, Peter, take it easy. Well, anyway, let me do a quick check. All right, 164 views on the musical interlude video. I have to see how all of that goes. Don't forget your lunchbox. So yeah, this is an interesting chat. All fun, but who knows what's going to happen? We can only wait for day number 39. And by the way, let me bring it up again, guys. Saturday, I don't know when I'm going to do a live. If I do one, it's going to be a busy day for me. I have to actually interact with my wife and stuff and do things. Uh, I don't have all day just to hang around, make videos. Uh, Sunday is, that I can handle. But Saturday, there may be a gap. So, if you guys that are looking for the notifications and don't get it, don't waste your time on Saturday. I know I'm not going to do one in the morning. And after I'm done with the morning stuff, I have to do something in the afternoon. And I don't know. I don't know if I'll feel like doing a live. I have to do some stuff around the house here. I don't know how long it'll take either. Because usually when you start on some sort of project, everything goes friggin' wrong and it drags on forever and all kinds of shit. Mm. Mm. So, hour and a half. Ugh. Deers, yes. The raccoons came last night after the rain. If it really rains, well, they come in the rain too. They get hungry. Persistent little bastards. That's what I like about them. That's what I like about them. All right, let me see the lives. But he's counting the likes, 17 likes. That's about, you know, that's about what we've had here. Maybe 20 people. So I can't say that the likes are bad or anything like that. And I can't. Okay, I got a delivery today. 10 and 2. Do. All right. So, like I said, about an hour and a half, my back gets stiff and kind of run out of things. But tomorrow's Friday. The hurricane's coming. It'll be raining, so I ain't going to be out doing anything. So I will see you gentlemen tomorrow around 9 in the morning. We'll get another day in. Dates doesn't matter. Not the battleground state. Well, that's another thing. Discouraging. You should just vote anyway. Okay? Just for the hell of it. I mean, that's what's wrong with people. Oh, it ain't working. But yes, gonna wrap this up, gentlemen, And thank you once again for always showing up. We had some fun today. I see Megabait, you made it. And that, and we'll see you again tomorrow. All right.